for the definition quiz for today. All we're looking for is a letter beginning with the letters F-L-E. F-L-E. It's a four-letter word, and it's to run away from trouble or danger. What word do you think we're looking for? If you think you know, 0800 218 2255. Phone lines open for another couple of minutes. We'll close them just after 3:30. We'll select somebody at random, and they will be chosen to play the game at around about 3:45. So if you fancy joining me today, but lovely to chat to you. 0800 218 2255. What word begins with the letters F-L-E and has the definition to run away from trouble or danger? 0800 218 2255. Right, you're going to really enjoy this week's Manchester People. I've been looking forward to this one since we recorded it a couple of weeks ago, because this week you're going to hear from Liz Taylor, but maybe not the one you're thinking of. Liz is the millionaire party planner from Didsbury and told me about her childhood, her career, her love of music, and growing up with that famous name.
I was born Liz Taylor in Didsbury, and went to Manchester High School for Girls from the age of 4, lived on Lapping Lane, I'm a Manc. I'm a Manchester girl.
Have you, throughout your life, though, had those references, those comparisons to the Liz Taylor?
Well, obviously, because you can see the similarity, can you not? The funniest ones are recently, you go to the airport. I'll tell you the funniest story. I was doing a job in Istanbul, and they had on the sheet that Liz Taylor, and there was a camera crew waiting to greet me because they obviously thought it was the other Liz Taylor. So, yeah, I do get the references. It's a great door opener. It's great for me from a business perspective to network. When I met Prince Charles, he looked at my badge and he went, "Oh," he said, "the other Liz Taylor," and I said, "No, sir, the Liz Taylor." So it's a great play, but it's my name.
Take us back to school days. What were you like at school?
Oh, I was dead bossy. On my first report, I think age 4, it said Elizabeth would be a lot better if she wasn't so bossy. But it stood me in good stead, because obviously being bossy and organised is what shaped my career. I hated school. I had a privileged upbringing. My father was a barrister, then he was a judge, and my mum was a JP, and I went to Manchester High and I was privately educated, but I just hated it. And my parents separated when I was 17, and I bunked school and ended up at Marks and Spencer's doing the management training programme there, which I enjoyed. And I fell into this. But I was fortunate enough to have a great education and probably pick the best bits out of it. And but I hated it.
I wonder why you hated it. I wonder what it was. Was it just that institutionalised?
I hated studying. I just didn't, you either love it or you don't. I've got a younger daughter who studied history and French, and, she went to live in France for a year, and she loves reading, and she's very academic. And it either floats your boat or it doesn't, and it never floated my boat. But I was always entrepreneurial, and I always liked looking at opportunities to do things. I played the piano since I was 4. I studied music. I did all my grades. I didn't get into the Yehuda Menuhin school, but I was at that level. So I was always quite arty and musical, and I still play. I've got a baby grand at home, and that's my thing. And I think sort of, I'm on that, edgy, arty sort of spectrum.
So could it have gone in a different direction? Do you think you could have made a career out of music? Yeah, I could have been a concert pianist,
yes. And just think of all those people that wouldn't have had wonderful parties if I had been. But yeah, and I love it. I love music. Music is from when I get home at night, and I'm very into my music at work, and that's my thing. So always arty.
Tell me about your parents. Were they good organisers? Did they have parties? Was it a very sociable house? Was it people coming in and out the whole time?
Gosh, I haven't got long enough to talk about my parents. I had a dreadful relationship with my father, who was really quite a bully. If ever I got an A, it was, "Why didn't you get an A star?" And so I grew up with that, and me being very similar to him in character, it was like fire and water. My brother who now lives in Canada, is partially deaf, so he went away to school at a very young age. He didn't go to a special school. He went to a small boarding school. So I was brought up really as an only child. And then my father took silk at 40, became a QC, and then he became a judge not long after. So it was all that very sort of Didsbury, then we moved to Hale, and sort of quite within the Jewish community. It was it was that cocooned upbringing, and I rebelled. I was smoking at 12 and out in the clubs, Nice and Easy, Time and Place, all those sorts of places when I was 14, 15. I was a naughty girl, and so I struggled with my upbringing.
I'm just wondering where the love of a good party came from, though. Was that something you had as a youngster?
It's the love of organising. It's two very different things, and that's quite interesting that you actually perceive it as that, because when I get people apply for jobs, it's very interesting to see what their perception is. Some of them think that, oh God, yes, I got married and I want to be a wedding organiser, or I want to organise a party, but it's the infrastructure and the organisation, and that's what I love. That was what Marks and Spencer's taught me. I am anal about detail, and that's what when I go and do the event's over and done with at that point. I walk in and it's all done, the work's been done. So it's the organisational skills that I think I excel at. Is that terribly?
No, not at all. Do you like a party, though?
No, I hate. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. That's it. No, I'm not very good. I can walk into a room of people that I don't know. I can come away with 10 friends and 5 contacts. I am totally brazen from that perspective, but I'm not the greatest at a big party. If I entertain at home, it's a small dinner party for 8 or 10. I don't cook. I've got a chef and all that business because I've got contacts, and I hate cooking. I can't cook. But I love entertaining in a small way. That's my thing. But parties are my business, so it's very difficult to. And also, I go with a critical eye, don't I? No, I don't like partying.
I don't like parties very much either.
Don't you?
No,
well, you can come to my house for dinner then.
Yeah. I just hope it's not lamb. Thank you to Liz. It's funny, isn't it? Do you know, there are people that adore parties and can't wait to go and love the dressing up and, all the hubbub around parties. I can't abide them. I just find them false fun. But anyway, that's another story. Cool, I'm a barrel of laughs today, aren't I? Tomorrow we'll be explaining how Liz and her further education was just not for her.
It was, you were going to university, particularly at Manchester High and Withington. You stayed on, you did your GCSEs, you did your A-levels, and you went to university. And I was never going to university. What makes me laugh is I actually now lecture at university, and had my father been alive, I would have stuck 2 fingers and said, actually, Dad, you know what? I got here. I did get there.
She's a great guest, didn't she? Liz Taylor back with more stories, and make sure you're with us later in the week for some of the big showbiz parties that she's organised in Manchester.